Could this be it? After all this time, we finally reached it. A bit cheap looking, but we reached it. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about! Woo! Easily excitable as always you are. Well, I am happy too with this nice change of scenery on a long, boring road with trees everywhere that we've been accustomed to. Maybe we've reached a new level of insanity finally. So, this is it, huh? This is the physical representation of the end of the story, isn't it? The end of the story? So you're saying that if we go through this door, it would mean we end Umineko, move forward, and begin a new story? Otherwise we are stuck here if we don't go through that door. I can't say for sure. It sort of looks like we can move forward on the road without having to go through this door. Let me check. Yeah, I think we can move past this door just fine. We have more than one option here. Yeah, but who would choose to continue the endless version of the snake way? If there is an option to relieve myself of the boredom of this place, I will take it. Well, it wasn't entirely boring. Me and Noby had some fascinating discussions on the road. Well, good for you. Meanwhile, I would much prefer enjoying our lovely discussions over a tea and some Angie portier. Let me see if I can open this. But wait. Yeah, figures. We have to do something to open it. I had a feeling this might be the case. Something tells me that we have to prove ourselves in some way so that this door opens. I do have an inkling of what we have to do, but first, we have to see if that is the case. What are you suggesting? What I am suggesting is that we should take a break first, because we have been walking for quite a while here. I'm gonna need some rest. Dandy! Do you have something in your mind to share with us, champ? I can feel it from all the way up here. I have been thinking of what happened at the end of Game 6. About Leon. About Leon's world. The concept of fragments. Fragments, you say? Well, can't say that I put much stock in trying to understand this concept beyond the surface level mentality, but you have piqued my interest. What is your view on it? Ben Castell mentions that she had to find one fragment out of 2,578,917 in order to discover the miracle that is Leon. Yes, and with a 2,578,916 out of 2,578,917 probability, Sayo lives in their world, toyed by an inescapable fate, met with a tragic end. So, Mercastel is a witch who can find miracles easily, no matter how unlikely it is, including Leon's world. But she can't find things that don't exist. And do you believe that? Huh, I see. So you want to entertain the idea that what she's saying is true. Have you guys ever wondered what the hell is this huge number to begin with? Looks quite random to me. It's small. Of course, to us it looks like a huge pool of fragments, but comparing it to, I don't know, infinity, it is small. I mentioned that there are infinite possibilities realistically, so this low number means we're not talking about realistic alternate universes, but something more strict in which the percentage for Leon to have a happy ending is next to none. Umineko has been all about games that were written, message bottles, and stories written by Hachijo Toya, one of which was read by Angie in Game 6. They can be seen as alternate realities, and Leon's world is seen as a fragment by Ben Castell. So, in that sense, fragments are seen as stories too. Therefore, those 2,578,917 fragments were written stories, more than likely the result of the Rokkenjima instant being spread to the world, and many people creating their own fragments about what may have happened. Those 2,578,917 were fragments that included Beatrice as part of the equation. The reason Leon is such a rare specimen, part of the one fragment out of 2,578,917 that is written, is because nobody outside of the Rokkenjima instant, nobody in the world who learned about the instant, had ever known the existence of Leon. Only Yasuda. Yasuda is the only one who knows of the existence of Leon. More than likely as a result of an alternate story that she wrote as a "what if I was accepted by Nazi when I was born" possibility. So all those fragments are a result of the minds of the people in the future. Interesting. I am sad though. What you are implying is that if only Yasuda knew, that is the only story that Ben Castell knew of, then there is no happy ending for Leon. How about a second fragment? I have been thinking of that as well. Is it possible for a second fragment to exist? Let me question something here first. You're saying that Yasuda is the only one from which Ben Castell got the fragment from, of Leon not having a happy ending? As far as we know. Alright, then I say things this way. If Will failed to prove what he wanted to prove in front of Ben Castell, about Kyrie and Rudolph, about Leon, then there is something to take out of this. If he failed, then, well, we might have to admit that the 1 in 2.5 million fragments Leon existed was a fragment that Yasuda/Claire thought of where Leon still has a bad ending, even if a part of her hoped she might, thanks to Will and Leon at the end of episode 7. So the reason Will failed was because he himself is not aware of any other story written by someone else who would have Leon survive and be that miracle, if there was another shot at finding happiness for Leon. I agree with that motion, friend. A second fragment with Leon that is not written by Yasuda maybe. 2 out of 2.5 million. Which could mean that makes Ben Castell a liar. She might be aware of another fragment with Leon having a happy ending. That, or she's truly not aware of a second fragment maybe. 2 fragments out of 2,578,918 if Byrne is not aware of its existence. Or 2 out of 2,578,917 if she's lying out of her ass. And that would imply someone else knew of the existence of Leon. Someone like Hachijo, who already wrote games like the 6th one where Bella and Beatrice married in the end, as a story of understanding of what Beatrice wanted out of Bella. And that is indeed a good point. If Hachijo is seen as someone who understood Beatrice, then she might know of Leon as well. Which still begs the question, how the hell does Hachijo play into all this? Or maybe we should look at Bella for this. If there is someone who could understand Beatrice, it would be him. Maybe he wrote a story himself? Yeah, but how would Bella be able to write a story like that when the Rokkenjima incident happened? Unless he learns of what Yasuda went through before the incident? Unless he survived the incident, and he wrote a story of Leon surviving and having a happy life. Maybe he went to Hachijo to tell her what happened after the incident, and she wrote all the stories based on what he said. That sounds quite stupid, if you ask me. That would imply that Bella survived in the first place, and he never went to Angie back home. I mean, unless Bella had very little time to live after the incident, so all he could do is tell Hachijo what he needed to say, and then he died. Or another option is if Yasuda wrote another message bottle and sent it in the ocean. But that would imply the rest of the world would eventually learn of Leon too, and that should not be the case. Leon has to be a very, very rare existence that only Yasuda and maybe some other person knows. Who knows, maybe by miracle it was only Hajijo who found the bottle only. Yeah. Yeah. Oh hey, the sun is rising. There is no sun in the land of the dead. It's coming from the road. Alright, well, let's go. It could be what I think it is. I thought so. Whoa! It's shiny! And would you look at that? A letter arrived. Aha! So the answer is to burn the door down, eh? This surely fulfills the pyromaniac heart inside of me. Words taken out of my mouth. Alright, enough fooling. This door is one that every observer, like every reader, reaches. Meaning that if we choose to, we can continue to try and understand Umineko beyond the ending of the main story. Or continue into the next adventure. Everyone who went through Umineko had to make a decision like this. And so, it is our turn. However, we surely cannot neglect our future adventures. Many who went through Umineko, even years past its story end, have stuck with it to fulfill their hearts. Well, since we are here, how about we go ahead and do the thing that we promised we would do? One final topic to close off the story. The themes. Thought that you were starting to have doubts and avoid it. I was itching for it. A nice way to finish out the story, I'd say. Umineko. I have formed many ideas throughout this. I have experienced the craziest things imaginable in fiction. The most twisted logic one can come up with. Ending this won't be easy. Alright, well, I did see this coming. I did see something like this coming with Angie and Ben Castello and all. Now I'm curious how things are gonna go from here, and how Beller and Beato are gonna tackle this. There's no need to feel confused. Federa and Hachitoya are the same being. To her, the difference between the two worlds is a trivial thing. To put it in the words of that lover of theater going, it's like having a slightly different background behind the stage. So there was no reason for me to feel hesitant.
今度は八条先生と呼べば？名前というもののなんとややこしきことかな。ここに私とあなたがいることに何の変わりもないのに、あなたは私を何と呼べばいいのか迷わねばならない。そうね。 フェザリーヌと呼ぶのもあなたにとっては無粋というわけだわ。役者にとって自分の演ずる役の名前など仮のものでしかない。そういうことだ、人の子よ。
フェザリーヌ
Makosa's eyes went wide as he wondered what I was suddenly talking about. Yeah, magical stuff. I don't think that you've read Umineko until this point, right, Makosa? I ignored him and continued.
それであなたは私に何を見せてくれるの？
As I spoke, my eyes were caught by the heavy-looking object she held on her arm. At a glance, it looked like an encyclopedia with a fancy binding.
これをご存知ですか？
As Federin spoke, she set the heavy object on the table. Oh, I first thought was of a grimoire. You know, here's the thing, folks. Like, in my spare time, I do like 3D modeling and such. I'm still a beginner and all that, but I do some 3D modeling in my spare time and learning and such. With that being said, I did try to recreate this particular book as well, and the key in a 3D modeling program. And when I made this particular book, it made me think, hold on, this makes no sense to me. Like, is that the actual keyhole of the book? Because one would say, okay, you need that key that Angie has to open this particular book. The key is too big for that keyhole. Or rather, that keyhole is too damn small for any key to fit inside. Because one would assume that you can put the key inside and then the lock would would open. And second of all, I would assume that when you unlock this book, like the chains would fall off from the binding, like on the right there. How does it detect that? Like, how? And this is a really unique binding, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen something like this before, and is it practical? The heavy book had a mysterious, mystical feel to it, like something Maria One-chan might carry around. Yeah. And the most remarkable feature of it was the large, sturdy lock that held it shut. Why would someone go so far to keep people from reading a book? Yeah, this was the book that Battler said at the beginning. No, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Like, not right now. Like, Battler did say that Angie has an option, and she would have to go through some stuff before, and Angie will find out eventually what decision she has to make. I would have assumed that it has something to do with this book. Whether you open it with a key, or not open it with a key. That those are like two choices that Angie can make. I don't know. Is it that Battler didn't want Angie to just straight up go to the answer and has to think first and then use the key? Or is this book completely separate thing from what Battler wants out of Angie? And this is some evil book of some sorts. I do have a sneaking suspicion what this book may be about. It is about an idea that that I have been thinking of for a while, and I am making like a skit for it. So, hopefully, I'm gonna be able to make that skit like soon enough. Cause who knows? Maybe the game will address this at some point, or maybe it will address in a couple of seconds. Fuck. Okay. I am gonna say my idea, but I'm not gonna explain the whole thing. Like, not the idea. Like, what I want to say is that this book could be Like, it very well could be that this book was written by Eva after the Rokenjima incident. I think that this is a completely separate thing now that I'm thinking about it. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of Leon's Road. Like, I was thinking, if there is such a thing as a book that that has a miracle with Leon surviving and living a happy life, it will be something rare. And maybe this could be it, but nah, maybe it's something completely different. Maybe this truly could be what Eva wrote after the incident, and Angie would learn of the truth through this book.
手に取り裏をご覧になるといいでしょう。裏？
The back! I flipped the heavy book over on my lap. And as soon as I saw it, I gave a small gasp.
エヴァ。後ろ宮。後ろ宮、エヴァ。
Without a doubt, those words were written there in English letters. And I had a sneaking suspicion.
これは何？エヴァおばさんの日記？
ひょっとしてこいつが噂の。
あんた何か知ってるの？
噂程度ですがね。エヴァ会長は秘密の日記を持っていて、それには厳重に錠前をかけていて、出先に行く時も必ず持って行ってたって話は護衛仲間から聞いたことがあります。
秘密の日記。それがどうしてここに？後ろ宮エヴァが息を引き取った病室にあったものです。
This diary was hidden behind her bed, so it remained in that room for some time after her death before it was found. It was probably someone who worked for the hospital, or else a patient or their family, who happened to find it. Of course, by that time, there was a huge movement dedicated to the Rokenjima mystery. A locked diary found in the hospital room where Ushiromiya Eva spent her last moments. It would be absolutely priceless. The discoverer probably handed it over in secret to one of the witch hunters, who would be able to accurately determine its worth. Luckily, the witch hunters who got their hands on this book were all noble and upright people. Not content to brutally destroy the lock and reveal the truth, they simply satisfied themselves with the fact that the truth of that day slumbered just on the other side of this mysterious lock. Thanks to that, Eva's diary has remained undamaged to this very day.
後宮家長男クラウスの妻ナツヒは日々の不満や鬱積を日記に記すことでそれを封印するというある種のまじないをしていたことがすでに知られています。同じことをエヴァおばさんもやっていたと。
So you're saying that Eva kept it with her like the entire time? She took it with her? And the servants know? How come? Okay, I was thinking that maybe this diary was kept in a super secret place, like at her house, in like some random safe or something, but... And nobody would know about the existence of this book except Eva. But you're telling me that a lot of people knew about this? In which case, how come Angie didn't know about this? Like, this is the first time that she's saying this. I'm sensing something sus here.
可能性はありますな。その日記の蝶つがいを外すのはたとえ鍵があったとしてもかなり面倒だ。まるでギチギチのコルセットみたいに封印してやがる。
Amakusa was right. This wasn't a diary made to be casually opened and reminisced over. It's probably safe to assume that this diary was used to forget things by writing them down and sitting them away, just like Ushirumi and Nazis. And on top of that, Eva brought it with her into her hospital room, then hid it behind the bed without telling anyone about it.
まさかこの日記にエヴァおばさんがあの日何があったのかを記しているとでも。中を読めば全てがわかるでしょう。しかしその錠前を外す鍵の行方がわからないのです。
I jumped. Then I looked down at my chest. That's where my brother hung that key.
ない鍵。
どうしたんですお嬢。鍵って。
鍵どこ？
私がずっと首にかけてたでしょ。
俺は知りませんぜ。
Nah, that's baby Angie. You have to turn yourself into a baby yet again.
鍵なんざぶら下げてましたか？
Like I'm already missing baby Angie. I want baby Angie back. I understood almost immediately. In the world of humans, I haven't found the key. The me with the key is on the game board in the world of witches.
鍵を持っている私に戻して。この日記を開けるわ。
Federer lifted a finger, spun it out, and the world twisted again. When I returned to Federer's study, the key faded back into existence, hanging from my neck. But at the same time, the diary on my left faded out of existence.
日記はどこに？ゲーム版のどこかに存在するだろう。そなたに与えられる鍵穴の一つである以上、必ずどこかに存在するはず。お兄ちゃんがどこかに隠している。バトラがあんたとのゲームを気取る以上、それはおそらく完全な意味では隠されていないわ。どういう意味？バトラにとって奪われたくないキングであっても、それはゲーム版に置かれていなければゲームとして成立せぬということ。
Yeah. A game wouldn't be a game if it was impossible to do something like that, to find the book.
つまり、あの後ろ宮家のどこかにあったということ。
Like, if that is what Ben Costello is trying to get to here.
あるいはすでにそなたには一度目にする機会が与えられているのかもしれぬ。詐欺師が一番最初に見せる契約書に極小の字にて、すでに悪辣なる罠が記してあるかのように。バトラがゲームマスターとしてミステリーの作法とやらにのっとるなら、手がかりは必ず提示され、バトラが負ける選択肢も必ず提示されている。エンジェ、思い出しなさい。あんたはすでにバトラの世界でエヴァの日記を見ているはずよ。
In that instant, from the back of my mind, drifted the very first scene of this final game. In the chapel, a book lying on the altar, a book with a lock on it. As soon as I showed interest in that book, Letter suddenly got serious and told me not to touch it.
あれがエヴァおばさんの日記。そうよ、後ろ宮エヴァの日記。あの日の真実を記した一なる真実の書。一なる真実の書。それに本当の真実が記されているの。だってそれはエヴァおばさんの妄言の可能性も。赤き真実で私が断じよう。後ろ宮エヴァの日記一なる真実の書には、1986年10月4日から5日にかけての六軒島の真実が記されている。
The discussions over Ben Costello's reasoning game were getting heated at each of the tables. At some point, each table had started competing to see which could solve it first.
ベルンカステル、エンジェとエリカはまだ到着しないのか？
もう来てもいい頃よ。どっちが先に到着するか賭けでもする？エリカが遅くなるのはともかく、エンジェもずいぶん遅くなったわね。一体どこの深淵に突き落としてたやら。失礼ね。ちゃんとソファーに紅茶でくつろいでもらってたわよ。ベルンカステル教の好む紅茶がエンジェの口に合うと良いのだがな。
She was sitting with the other demons in oblivion, like drinking tea. Yeah, go figure.
確かにな。
Like, imagine the situation. Like, the cat arrived, like in oblivion to see Erika. And Erika was told that she can now leave oblivion. And Erika's all, oh, finally. Huh. Well, I'm off, guys. It was fun. And then, well, after leaving, the demons were all, yes, finally. Jesus Christ, that demon.
失礼ね。
She was even more rude than us. How is that even possible?
誰の口にだって合うわよ。エリカなんか、私の紅茶はポットの最後の一滴からお味噌の壺の底まできれいに舐めとるわよ。
Oh, the imagery.
なぜそこで味噌が出てくるのか大いに疑問だぜ。
In a perverted way, more than likely.
それにしてもエリカか。あやつとは久しぶりの再会になるな。
Oh boy.
そういえばそうだな。名探偵殿があのベルンカステルのゲームを解くのにどの程度の時間をかけるのか見ものだぜ。
Yeah, I did say. She is gonna think of the answer and some unorthodox alternate answers as well, more than likely.
あの子は得意よ、こういうゲームは。多分上から下までを3度も読んだらもう答えを出しちゃうんじゃない？
だろうな。正解を5万円で語るあいつの顔を早く見てやりたいぜ。
いやいや、それどころかあやつのこと。いろいろとへりくつをつけて、バトラ一家以外にも犯行は可能だなどと言いかねんぞ。
だな。むしろ正解よりその自信たっぷりのへりくつが聞きたい気分だ。
Apparently, Beller and Beto were looking forward to their reunion with Erika. You are looking forward to? I'm ecstatic. I mean, can we finally have Erika at the party? So that she can enjoy herself as well? Like, come to the party with the smug aura of a Nazi German soldier? They are already dueled with Erika in 2 separate games. But now there was no distinction between foes and allies. Naturally wanted to welcome her to this after-show party as a friend.
それにしてもちょっと意外な感じ。何が？だってあんたがこんなにもあっさりエンジェを解放するなんて。
Making sure that Beller and the others couldn't see her face, Lambda Delta snickered.
そんなに意外？ええ、意外よ。ベルンのことだから解放せずに次々とバトラに難問を突きつけていじめ抜いたり、あるいはエンジにおかしなことを吹き込んでゲームを最後にかき回してくれる程度のことはするんじゃないかと思ってた。ベルンのことを世界で誰よりも知っているつもりでいたのに。
Yeah, I feel like me and Lambda Delta, we would be in the same wavelength when it comes to what Ben Castel would try to do here. Like, if I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes, this is exactly what I would say. Like, they tried to give Angie some weird ideas and have her turn the game around in the end. Something like that, yeah.
予想が外れてがっかりよ。 言うわね。でも安心して。やはりあんたは私のことを世界で一番理解しているのは間違いないのだから。そりゃそうよ。このラムダデルタ様は全宇宙で一番ベルンのことを愛してて大好きで理解しちゃってるんだから。
Lamdadella was flustered by Ben Costello's apparently friendly words, which were very rare coming from her.
バトラス様、ご歓談中失礼いたします。エンジェ様がお帰りになりました。
おお、帰ってきたか。
Oh?
よかった。無事か。
雨に少し濡れてしまったようで、今熊沢がタオルを用意しております。
Soaked by the rain? In my Umineko? Never. When Meller heard this, he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he turned to face Ben Castillo, showing her a forced smile as though apologizing for still suspecting her, just a little. Ben Castillo showed no reaction, and simply continued to wear a blank expression with a slight smile.
エンジェ様のお帰りでございます。
ただいま。
バトラ、エンジェが帰ったぞ。
Baby Angie.
エンジェ、よかった。心配したぜ。
Angie stared at Bella as he dashed towards her with a relieved smile. Her expression seemed somehow indifferent.
バトラったらね、あんたのことを私が鎖か何かで岩蝋に吊るしてたとでも思ったみたいよ。
いやいや、そこまでは思ってなかったぜ。
Oh. You, Bella, did end up locked in a room with a logic error, and you cannot even exit that room because you would be chained to the neck, so...
ベルンカステルの友人の家で紅茶をごちそうになってただけよ。なかなか美味しかったわ。
味噌とか梅干しは入ってなかったか？
Oh. Yeah, this isn't baby Angie speaking right now, but old Angie in baby Angie's body. Oh. And she's being all serious. I mean, she's cute and all that, but...
入ってるわけないでしょ。
As Angie spoke bluntly, she walked right past her brother and exchanged a few whispered words with Ben Castillo.
どうしたバトラ。
ああ、いや、なんでもない。
He said that his little sister being cold to him had left him feeling forlorn. Beta would either laugh at him or scratch him. After all, Angie was a girl at a tender age. She might be in a bad mood for reasons that a man like him couldn't understand. Taking note of this, and having satisfied himself that Angie was okay, he made to walk away.
バトラ、エンジェが呼んでいるぞ。
ああ、すまん。
さっきから呼んでるわよ。無視しないで。
Baby Angie with that kind of attitude.
別に無視してたわけじゃねえぜ。なんだよお前。さっきから機嫌が悪いぞ。
大方、ベルンカステル教に珍しい紅茶とでも偽られておかしなものを飲まされたせいだろう。
あんたに用はないわ。ちょっと引っ込んでて。お兄ちゃんと二人で話がしたいの。
そうはいかぬぞ。わらわはこう見えても領主夫人。バトラに関してはすでにそなたよりもわらわの方が。
悪い、ベアト。少しだけ席を外してくれるか。
By now, Bella had realized that Angie's issue was more than just a slight bad mood. Beto puffed out her cheeks as though she wanted to say something back. However, she just let out a sigh and walked away.
これでいいか？
ええ。 だってこれは私とお兄ちゃんのゲームでしょ。プレイヤーは私、ゲームマスターはお兄ちゃん。私たちの間にいくつ駒が入り込もうと、結局は私とお兄ちゃんとの直接の戦いであることに何の変わりもない。
まあ確かに俺がゲームマスターだが、別にお前と戦ってるわけじゃないぞ。この最後のゲームはお前を1986年の六軒島に招待するために開いたものだ。
ゲームは勝敗を決するために行われるものよ。敵と味方が揃って初めてゲームと呼ぶ。そこをごまかさないで。
お前何を言い出すんだ。
すっかり騙されていたわ。私も最初はお兄ちゃんが1986年のあの日に招待してくれるのだと思ってた。でも違う。これは全部お兄ちゃんの茶番じゃない。甘ったるい物語でお茶を濁して私を煙に巻いて、孤独な未来へ安っぽい温かさを手土産に追い返そうとしているだけじゃない。私は最初から求めてるわ。あの日六軒島で何があったのか。それに対するお兄ちゃんの答えがこのゲーム、この甘ったるい幻想パーティー。私の問いに対するお兄ちゃんの答えはもはや明白だわ。私は真実が知りたい。そしてお兄ちゃんに教える気はない。
エンジェン、いいか、そうじゃない。
ごまかさないで。これは私とお兄ちゃんの最後の戦いのゲームだったのよ。私はあの日の真実を求める。そしてお兄ちゃんはあの日の真実を幻想で覆い隠そうとしてる。何も変わらない。お兄ちゃんとベアトが戦ってた時と何も構図は変わらないのよ。もうすぐで私はお兄ちゃんに全てをうやむやにされたままゲーム版を追い出されるところだった。おあいにくね、私はもうこのゲームは私とお兄ちゃんの戦いであることを理解してるの。もうこれ以上は簡単に騙せると思わないことね。
Uh-oh. And just shouting tore apart the peaceful atmosphere. I guess that signifies the end of the party. Alright, well, let's see how you're gonna deal with this, Beller. The family members and the residents of family gulped and watched the scene, wondering what was going on. Beller tried to run up to Beller, but he motioned for her to stay back.
何が望みなんだ。
最初からただ一つ、1986年の六軒島の真実、それだけを私は求めてる。
真実は猫箱の中に封じられてる。猫箱の外のお前にはたどり着けない。
だからこの甘ったるい幻想で私をごまかそうと。
確かにこれは幻想だ。だがお前にこの楽しい雰囲気を、親族の和気あいあいとした気持ちを思い出してほしかった。あの日あの島で何があったかじゃない。お前が忘れてしまった親族会議の温かな雰囲気を思い出してほしかったんだ。
それはお兄ちゃんが押し付ける一方的な幻想よ。私はそれを断固拒否する、拒絶する。
1986年の真実など存在しない。猫箱の中は虚無だ。お前はありもしないものを求めてる。
私はもう騙されないわよ。存在するのよ、あの日の真実は。それは唯一の生還者によって書き残され現存している。
Bella's expression faltered for just an instant. And Angie didn't miss it. So he was hiding it after all. Oni-chan has been hiding the book of the single truth from me.
エバおばさん、あんたが死んでから私は初めて感謝するわ。あんたがしっかりとあの日の真実を書き残してくれていたおかげで、私は真実を知る最後の機会を得た。
エンジェちゃん聞いて。あの日記はおばさんのデタラメが書いてあるだけで何の意味も。
ごまかしは不要よ。あんたの日記にはあの日の真実が記されているとすでに赤き真実で断じられているのよ。
バカな。ゲームマスターのバトラ以外の誰が赤き真実を使えるというのか。
アウアウローラね。正解よ。一なる真実の章は1998年という未来世界の存在。その中身に赤き真実で保証を与えるという大役が他の誰にできるっていうの。ベルーンカステルは全てを教えてくれたわ。私はもうお兄ちゃんに騙されない。私が欲しいのは甘ったるい幻想じゃない、本当の真実。そしてそれをいくら1986年のお兄ちゃんが覆い隠そうとも1998年の私には暴くことができる。なぜなら1986年のベアトリーチェがお兄ちゃんで、私は1998年のベアトリーチェだから。
A cyclone rose up around Angie. He was a golden swirl of gold butterflies, just like the golden witch Beatrice. The endless witch of 1998!
我こそは1998年の最後の黄金の魔女、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。
Hey yo, what? Hey yo! I guess so. We are finally getting a witch dress for Hanji. Oh, I surely did not expect that. Like, this hasn't been said before, but drip?
過去の魔女は決して未来の魔女には勝てない。
The cyclone of gold broke apart, and as gold lay scattered across the room, the final witch, who would inherit Beatrice's name in the future, appeared.
エンジェ、ベアトリーチ
ェ。あんたは黄金と無限の魔女。私は違う。黄金と真実の魔女。いかなる幻想も私を拒むことはできないわ。
The Witch of Gold? Well, actually... Yeah, I guess that makes sense too, I guess. Not the Witch of Gold that I would know.
さあ、お兄ちゃんの退屈なパーティーはもうおしまい。ここからは私のパーティーになるわ。パーティーを賑わせるゲームだって用意してきた。よろしくね、エヴァおばさん。え？
When Angie snapped her fingers, she vanished among a swirl of gold butterflies. Oh my god, please don't start kidding your family members out of all things. Angie? In her place in the middle of the cycle, a girl wearing a dress appeared, bowing modestly. Oh. Beatrice? Oh god. Yeah, now we're gonna have Beatrice against us again. She is protecting Angie, but that doesn't mean that she's gonna be a good person. That she's gonna enjoy the party or anything. No, no.
私にだけ パーティーの招待状がないなんて。
Oh my god. The chaos is about to start. Angie wants to open the cat box, and that would mean chaos for everybody around here. What's worse? That would mean no more party! No! No! We're not gonna allow that.
そなたエヴァ。
私は六軒島の唯一の生還者。そして1986年から1998年まで黄金と無限の魔女を名乗る未来の魔女。バトラ君の甘ったるい幻想なんて未来の世界では湖面に落ちる一粒の雪より儚いわ。さあ楽しんでちょうだい。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたたちの無限の推理を。
Whenever I held her hand to the heavens, light gathered there and took the form of a bottle. Uh-oh. Yes, a bottle. A bottle of wine? A glass bottle with no label. There was no alcohol inside. Darn. Sealed within it was a fragment that let off a pale, sinister light.
バトラ、それはまずい。
Oh, is it that same fragment? Oh god.
割らせてはならぬ。
さあショータイム。
The bottle was slammed against the floor and smashed to pieces. As soon as the fragment within it touched the outside air, it flashed white and burst. Wait. Like, what does this mean? What is that fragment that Ivatris has? At first, it seemed that nothing had happened. However, Eva grinned at them before becoming a cloud of butterflies and vanishing. Come to think of it, Mergastel was gone as well.
あいつ何をしやがったんだ。
おそらく未来の世界より持ち帰ったかけらだ。
Yeah, but what kind of fragment?
未来の猫箱の中身とでも言おうか。
The contents of the cat box in the future.
つまりどういうことだ。なんだ。
At that moment, they heard a tremendous hiss. It was as though large chunks of hail had started falling everywhere. An earthquake accompanied that noise, and the whole mansion groaned. Dust began to fall from the ceiling. At the same time, it seemed as though the curtain-covered window glowed with a pale light. I wonder what is going on here? An earthquake? Is that one of the stories from the future where the Rokkenjima mansion was destroyed by a freaking earthquake?
一体何事だというの。キリエ、外。何よあれ。
Ivan rushed to a window in response to her voice. Of course, Bella and Bato went too. Unless... oh god, don't tell me that's a... hello there. Then they drew the curtains, looked at the scene outside, and were stunned into silence.
これは美しい。
But this is... not what I expected. Kinzo's words spoke for the first impression, left by all who looked out the windows.
美しいものが無害とは限らない。
美しいなんとかにはトゲがあるのはお約束ね。
Though everyone found the scene beautiful, it gave them all an ominous feeling. Outside the window, countless small objects, crystal fragments glowing pale blue, lay strewn about everywhere like fallen hail. Fragments everywhere. Fragments of the future, of the outside world. The word fantastical perfectly summed up the scene that lay before them in the glowing rose garden.
今あそこ何か動いた。おい、あそこに誰かいるぜ。いや、あれ。
Is it the goats?
の光るかけらから人影が生え出してる。煉獄の七姉妹戦闘態勢。
With those words of Lucifer's, everyone finally realized that they were surrounded by danger. Yeah, it's goats. One by one, the countless fragments shook and burst, and large dark bodies rose up from inside each. Oh my god. Yeah, so here's the thing. Apparently, like last time when Angie was attacked by the goats, they are, like from what I'm seeing right over here, the goats are a representation of the people of the future, or like, I guess you can also think of them as the raiders who fought of theories and such. And they attacked Angie with the family culprit theory. They basically represent the role. Now the goats are attacking like the contents of the cat box, meaning that it could very well be possible that Angie is basically, well, here's the thing, she didn't open the cat box yet, so it's kind of like these people are now discovering this book and now they're trying to peel like the cat box open. Oh god, that could very well be it. It's the outside world, it's the world trying to discover the truth of the contents. My god. They were giants with goat heads. One after another, they appeared from the insides of broken fragments. The realization that the countless fragments lying all over the rose garden were responsible for the blue glow covered. The realization that the countless fragments lying all over the rose garden were responsible for the blue glow covering the entire area sent a wave of cold terror rushing over all present.
45全集警戒。レーダーが真っ白です。
Like, there are some broken fragments, meaning that meaning the creation of a new fragment, if I'm to think of it.
ジャミングされてるか、もしくは乱反射無数、敵数確認不能。
Even as she said this, the glowing rose garden outside the window was filling with giant goats. The fragments carrying the goats weren't just in the rose garden, they were spread evenly across the entire island. Not just the rose garden, but the entire area around the mansion had to be half covered with goats by now.
緊急。包囲されたものと申し上げたてまつる。
見りゃわかるぜ。
どうするの、バトラー。
招待状がねえ客ならお引き取りいただかねえとな。こいつらは何者なんだ。ベアトのとこの従者ってわけじゃなさそうだな。
Not at all.
ヤギの姿はこのゲーム版の駒の形を模倣しただけのことでしょう。リーチやリーヤの眷属じゃない。
They are definitely Angies. Or veterans. Or Baron Castell, I guess it kind of depends.
もっと厄介な何かよ。なるほど。ボトルメッセージの具現化というわけですか。
ボトルメッセージベアトの
違うな。こいつは未来の住人たちの妄想のかけらだ。
Yeah, basically.
猫箱はそのうちに無限を秘める。その結果、箱の外の住人たちはその中身を無限に想像することが許される。その無限の妄想がこやつらの正体だ。
あのヤギたちは私たちをどうするつもりでしょう。
仲良く握手ができる雰囲気には見えへんで。
あいつらは私たちがこの島でどんな惨劇が繰り広げられたかを勝手にでっち上げては流布して回る最悪の連中よ。私が真実を語らないことを面白がり、勝手に次々と惨劇を生み出して。
なるほど。1986年の猫箱を勝手に妄想する。
未来世界にはありとあらゆる解釈が存在します。それらは私たちが否定しない限り、全てが全て真実だと言い張り、この島に居座り続けるのです。
これは厄介なことになったね。
私たちは包囲され、絶対絶命のピンチというわけだわ。
あいつら何をしているんだ。
食べてるよ。何か食べてる。
What, are they eating grass?
バラを食べている。
The squirming crowd of goats was busily doing something. If you look closely, you could see them sticking their heads into the rose bushes and munching away. And it wasn't just the rose bushes. Light poles, the bricks of the flower beds, and even the stone paving itself. They were biting all of it. Oh my god, they're trying to destroy the men. They're trying to destroy everything. They're trying to destroy the island. Almost as if they were trying to eat up the whole island.
違う。あれはただ食べてるんじゃない。
食べているんじゃなければ一体何だと。
あれは食っているのではない。侵食し削り取っているのだ。このゲーム版そのものをな。
ゲーム版を食うだと。
未来の世界では誰もが今日の私たちは惨劇に飲み込まれたと信じてる。だから彼らは和やかに過ごす私たちの真実を認めないの。
I guess it makes sense. By eroding this place, they are basically like making this Rokkenjima look the same as what is looking in the future, like all destroyed by the explosion.
過去の真実は未来の真実の前に劣る。あのヤギたちの無慈悲なる未来の顎と牙を我らの真実を認めず、彼らの期待する真実で侵食するのだ。
ふざけやがって。これが俺たちの真実なんだ。勝手に未来の、それもよその奴らの期待する真実に塗り替えようとするんじゃねえ。
Indeed. The garden outside the window was now filled with too many goats to count, all chewing away. This repulsive scene stole the words from everyone's lips. They weren't just stunned into silence. There was just no point in making a fuss and letting the goats know for no reason. No point in letting them know that there was plenty of prey waiting in this bright, warm room. Prey that was softer and more satisfying to chew than roses or bricks.
あのヤギ、こっちを見てますよ。
静かに。騒いではダメだ。
こっちへ来ますさ。まずくありませんか。
They saw one of the newly born goats head slowly towards their window. There was already a huge swarm of them in the garden, so it was no surprise that one of them looked around for new prey. You would see the light from this window. Its immense, eerie body slowly approached. As it grew closer, they could finally see its disturbing form clearly. The eyes blazed, and yet were still cold, ruthless, and reptilian. The cruel fangs and jaw could tear apart and crush anything. Any fangs that could chew through brick would hardly have a problem chewing through humans. Its massive body had to be taller than the windows themselves, and it was lumbering towards this window. Yeah, and I guess we can all protect ourselves with duct tape.
防弾程度であの巨体の剛腕が防げるとは思えぬぞ。
うわー！来た来た！かけてくる！
緊急！この窓を許すこと、なきなりと知りたてまつれ。
Alright. It's time for us to protect ourselves. The power of Cornelia's seal formed a shield around the glass. The goat was blown back, unable even to touch the glass because of this power. Its weight made the earth tremble. They could feel that clearly, even inside. But that tremor had also drawn the attention of the nearby goats. A pack of goats started shuffling closer, and then, realizing that they were in competition for this new prey, the pack quickly broke into a thundering charge. The window protected by Cornelia's seal would probably be safe. However, there were many windows in the Great Hall. Everybody, protect the windows! Barricade yourselves! For the first time, those windows became a source of terror instead of sunlight and lovely view. Gertrude sealed another window. The ghosts trying to break in through that one were thrown back. Eleanor! Like, summon all the Inquisitors! Like, there must be like hundreds of them, right? Well, actually, like, all the rest of the Inquisitors are on vacations themselves. What? You mean we only have 2 of them? But at the same time, those inside the building heard the terrible crash of a third window being shattered. Scattering fragments of glass everywhere, the massive goats broke through the window frame and entered the building. Gora! Use your magical powers that you've hidden all this time! Or just punch him in the face, Kraus. You've done that stuff before. Those words were really coming from the goat's mouth. Oh god. Now we're gonna hear their explanation of what happened from the goat's mouth, along with steaming foul breath. However, he didn't get a chance to say any more. Forehead, neck, shoulder, chest, side, gut, knee. The stakes of the Seven Sisters bury themselves in deep, one after another. Several other windows shattered one after another, and goats squeezed their way in through the window frames. Their mouths were still stuffed with the bricks they had just been snacking on. How the fuck would they be able to squeeze themselves through the window? They would just break the entire walls. Each time they chewed, he made a ghastly sound like bones being crushed. Let's go! After sniffing noisily as though scanning the smells around them, the goats started chewing on whatever chairs, tables, or curtains were close by. The goats would chew anything to bits, as long as it was near them. Aha! We have the higher ground! The others were careful not to attract the goats' attention, they will be able to escape from this place. Alright, let's set some Kevin McAllister traps right over here. Just a bunch of buckets with the ropes on them, and just hit them in the head with the buckets.
Heads up! Don't worry, Marv, I'll get him for you. Yes.
The humans ran on ahead up to the second floor, while the fantasy creatures, who were used to fighting, guarded the rear. The goats were completely absorbed by their all-consuming feast in the hall. Oh god, not the portrait, no. I grew fond of the portrait. Even the portrait of Beatrice, which might have been called the symbol of the whole Shurimiya family, had now been brutally chewed up.
バトラー、人間は全員2階へ避難したぞ。
よし、ドラノール、すべての階段の封印を頼む。
ガートルードたちが行います。しかし、時間稼ぎが必要です。
More time. Long beating sounds. Whether that could be called knocking was unclear, and sounds of shattering glass could be heard from all parts of the mansion. All the food too. Look at that. Look how clean they cleaned the tables. Yeah, they're chewing like walls on windows, but then they left the tables like very, very clean, apparently. Huh. Well, at least their food eating etiquette is sound for this. But still, they ate all the food, goddammit.
お仕事の時間でございますよ。
煉獄の七姉妹、ここに。さあ行くよお前たち。今夜は食い放題だわ。シエスタタイ、外部タスク、オールスリープ、自動更新切断、データは取るな、捕虜は取るな。
第7管区アイゼルネ・ユングフラウ、領主命令により任務を開始します。
助立ちするぜ。リオン、お前は足手まといだ。2階へ上がってろ。
でもウィル。
Yeah, you too. Something tells me that you, Leon, are in quite a danger yourself in comparison to the rest of the adults. If they catch you, you're basically gonna disappear. Like, straight like that.
ここは私たちに任せ、あなたは上へ。あなたにも家族を守るという仕事がありますよ。わかりました。皆さん、ご無事で。
Alright, go, go, go! The mansion was filled with the sounds of bashing, crushing, smashing, and chewing. Alright, goats! Time to roll! The goats and their wave of destruction were drawing steadily closer.
バトラ卿、ガートルードたちが別階段の封鎖を完了しました。残る階段はこの大階段だけです。
Okay, good.
あっちの階段はちっちゃいから早いわね。
Wait, the other staircases? Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of something completely different right over here, but we don't have time for off-topic stuff right over here. Go!
でもこの階段は大きいから時間をかけそうね。
Like, I was thinking of something like 3D modeling related, but it doesn't matter right now.
時間稼ぎが大変だわ。
Lamnatento spoke as though it was someone else's problem. You only took a glance at her face to see that she had no intention of lending a hand. Yeah, sure, I guess. Just enjoy the fun, Lambda Delta, I guess. Even so, Beto didn't scold her. This was a game between Bellur and Angie. Lambda Delta was only a theater goer who had been invited. Yeah, I understand that. Like, I'm not scolding Lambda Delta or anything like that, but still. Eh.
悪く思わないでね。今日もに食われたら私だって死んじゃうわ。悪いけど私は傍観者に回らせてもらうわ。
Yeah, I mean, not to mention that Lambda Delta has nothing to do with the incidents like on Rokkenjima. She was not part of the story, so she's not gonna be chewed to bits by the goats, but... Well, actually... Nah, I think that she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine.
もとより そなたは傍観者だ。助力を頼めぬのは残念だがな。
気を使ってんだろ。俺たちの見せ場を奪わないために。
多分そういうことにしておきましょう。
As a Voyager witch, Namnatata could retrieve from this game board of letters if she wanted to. In other words, she was the only one who wasn't in trouble now.
じゃあね、ベルンとあんたたちのゲーム見届けさせてもらうわ。
Alright, well, bye Lambda Delta.
応援してるからね。
ポップコーンを食べながら。
もちろん、今日は醤油バター味にするわ。
Maybe just, I don't know, you could just throw a bunch of popcorn here and there, just shoot them in the head with your popcorn. At the very least, from time to time. Yeah, Lambda Delta vanished with a pop. As soon as she did, a black hole opened in midair, and Gup fell out of it.
バトラ、リーチェ、ちょっと来てくれる？多分見た方がいいものよ。
今すぐにか。
ええ、行こうぞ。みんな、ここを頼むぞ。
You know, I just thought of this. Like, throughout Umineko, we've seen all sorts of genres, like love, shonen, mystery, and all that. Now we are seeing the zombie apocalypse genre, like, unfolding right over here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we've seen a little bit of sports with the cows and the goat in episode 4. We've seen like the wrestling genre there for a little bit, I guess. When it spat them back out again. They were in an inky black sky. Both of them were floating on the midnight sky. Ooh. And they could see Rokujima far beneath them. And as soon as they realized this, they shuddered.
これは
What?
群れじゃねえ。こりゃ海だな。
My god. They are everywhere. It was no longer a crowd of goats, but an entire sea of them. Just as Rokujima poked out from the ocean, the mansion was now poking out from a sea of goats.
未来人ってすごいわ。一体この島での惨劇をどれだけ大勢が妄想したというのかしらね。
I mean, it's kind of like the equivalent of, like, the people from the future just arriving here, like, everyone. Well, not everyone, but, like, a lot of them. I don't know, like, at the same time, it's not like they discovered the contents of, the inside of the book yet. Like, yeah. Like, they are that curious to see.
猫箱の外の寝言に過ぎぬわ。一掃してくれようぞ。それからあれを見て、分かりにくいと思うけど対岸線を見て。
Like, I guess, like, that would be the equivalent of the people in the future wanting to see if, like, the contents of that book are the same as in what happened here on Rokkenjima, like with the explosion.
海岸線?
Sure.
船着き場が分かりやすいわ。よく見て。
Oh my god. They arrived on boats too.
わかる。まさか。
ああ、多分そのまさかだな。あいつら食ってやがるんだ。島ごとな。
Yeah, indeed.
さあさあおいでなさい、未来のかけらたち。虚飾を幻想をまやかしをすべて食らい尽くしちゃえば。
Damn you, Evatrus! The Queen of Goats, god damn it. As if I yelled this to the heavens, hovering above the raging sea, hell fell down with a pale glow. Each one was a bottle with no label and a fragment inside. They poured onto the island, smashing into bits and scattering the fragments inside them everywhere. Every now and then, one of those fragments would split in two, and split in two again. And every single one of those fragments burst and gave birth to a massive goat. To say it was like a bamboo shoot springing up after the rain would be a vast understatement. The goats writhed about like bubbling, boiling water in a pot. They ate away at everything they saw. They didn't just eat the arbor, but the trees and rocks, the entire coastline itself. Hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of goats continued to eat. They were chewing away at every bit of Rokkenjima, of this final game that Beller had prepared. Never! By now, Beller and the others had to admit it. The future wanted a tragedy. Even if the truth of this island had been a gentle, peaceful thing, the future didn't want that. The truth they wanted was painting over the past. Blech. The truth of the future overrides the truth of the past.
なんて奴らなんだ。俺たちをそんなにも惨劇にぶち込みたいってのかよ。
私が見せたかったのはこれでおしまい。戦況の判断に役立ったならいいんだけど。
ああ、ありがとう。おかげで最悪の気分だ。
じゃあ次は書斎に行ってちょうだい。ゴールドスミスが呼んでるわ。
Gap snapped her fingers, and another black hole swallowed them up and spat them out in the study. You know, I'm sensing some danger right over here as well. I mean, not just because I'm pretty sure the study is gonna be overrun by goats as well eventually. We're not gonna be safe here forever, but something tells me that Kinzo himself is gonna be the first one in danger, because, well, technically, by Red, Kinzo will be the first one to die, so he will be the first one to take the bullet, so hopefully that's not gonna happen. I feel like the best option would be for us to just go inside the tunnels and just open up the chapel with the solution of the epitaph and then just go inside.
じいさま、まずいぜ。俺たちは完全に逃げ場なしだ。
分かっておる。そしてこのまま立てこもってやり過ごすことも叶うまい。
ロノウェたちはある程度の時間を稼ぐだろうが、それも一時だろう。
Did they just hold up in the mansion and fought from there? It would only be a matter of time before the swarm of goats got them. Trying to repel a few of the goats who barged into the mansion would be like using a cup to bail water from a boat with a hole in it.
しばらくは防戦できるだろうが、それも時間の問題よ。
Okay, you know what? I do have to ask this because it's eating me right now. Like, where the hell is Erika? Because I know that she's gonna attack us at some point as well. It's only a matter of time. That girl always comes up late.
その防戦の間に何かの手を打たなきゃな。逃げるか？どこへ？ゲーム版の外へ逃げる方法はあるのか？
ゲーム版の外は我らの領地の外側よ。航海者の魔女でなければ出ることは叶わない。
Only Bernkastel and Lambda Delta could do it. However, there was no way Bernkastel would help. Even Lambda Delta had already announced that she would be an observer instead of lending a hand.
逃げ場なしか。
いや、一箇所だけある。
どこに？
黄金鏡だ。
るほど。もはやそれしかあるまいか。
Yeah, apparently. Let's go.
黄金鏡はこのゲーム盤の上で最も不可侵な場所だ。逃れるならそこしかあるまい。
猫箱すら食い破るやつらよ。黄金鏡とていつ食い破ってくるかわからないわね。どうするバトラー。
即決する。撤退だ。決断が遅れればそれさえ不可能になる。全員を黄金鏡へ避難させよう。黄金鏡の扉を開くにはどうすればいい？
わらわが扉を開くだけのことよ。しかしあのヤギどもの群れが凄まじき半魔法の毒素を放ってる。扉が開くのには時間がかかるぞ。
扉が開くまでこの書斎を死守しろってんだろ。
Alright, sounds good.
やることは何も変わらねえ。
もう一つ問題がある。黄金鏡の扉は外より二人で収めば閉じられる。
What? Goddamn epitaph lock mechanism. Like they couldn't just make like a lock for inside. It can only be unlocked and locked from the outside. God damn it.
外より二人？
And why two though?
どういうことだ？
As soon as he said this, Bella realized. This must be an agreement made between the three witches who are in one.
普段ならばわざわざ扉を閉めることもないのだね。
Oh, great. So I guess that means that Shannon and Kano are gonna be on duty for that one.
今回ばかりはそうもいかぬだろう。
扉を閉める役目はお前とベアとしかおるまいぞ。
漁師の俺とベアト。
Or Beato and Bella?
一番無難な人選だな。
我ら二人だけならば身を守ることもなんとかなろうぞ。
よし。扉を開けてくれ。
Battle waved her pipe, leaving a golden trail behind as she slashed the air vertically. Then, the gap of the door to the golden land appeared. It looked like nothing more than a thin golden string hanging from the ceiling. If you look closely, you could see that the string was getting thicker, very slowly. The door to the golden land certainly was opening. It was so slowly that you couldn't even tell if you weren't careful. At this rate, it would probably take quite some time before it grew big enough to let a person through.
じい様とガープはこの本丸の守りを頼む。
外壁をよじ登ってくるヤギどもが現れるかもしれんしな。
心得た。我がライフルは獲物を求めておるわ。
Oh god, Kinzo with a rifle.
了解よ。
You kidding me? Before you transformed into a dragon? You can just do that? Okay.
そいつらを奈落の穴に落として遊んでるわ。